My name is Steve, and welcome to my shop and Shark Bits edition number 45. I can't believe it. I've actually been on YouTube for 15 years. However, I only started seriously making videos for the machinist community just 5 years ago, this coming April. I think it was April 15th. I did my first video, and that was a response to a challenge from Mike Wiggins of the Backyard Machine Shop, and it had to do with the speed of cutting metal on the Harbor Freight bandsaw. I had a new one that I had just put into action, and so I shot my first video. Since then, I now have 187 videos up. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed, watched, commented, liked. I really appreciate it. And that being said, I apologize that I haven't produced a video for just over 2 months. And it's not because I haven't been out in the shop. I've been extremely busy. And I'm not making excuses, I'll just tell you what I've been doing. I have a customer that is a piano technician, and he developed a new style piano tuning wrench. I helped him design the head of it. He has gotten it patented, and I did a small production run on it, which I really wasn't at liberty to share a video on. The other thing that I was doing for the same customer, he was rebuilding an antique harpsichord. They were made in Germany, and of course there were no parts available, and I actually made a few parts for the harpsichord, and it was a lot of fun, but they were very small, very tedious, and I just didn't want to be distracted having a video camera in my face. Plus I had to get them done, and video takes a lot of extra time. In addition, I have been grinding up a lot of my precision ground flat stones. Many of you have purchased them over the years, and I had a lot of them. For some reason, February and March both were pretty busy months in the ground stone business. So I've got a lot of viewer mail that has backed up, so let's get started. I'm going to bring the camera in a little bit closer so that you can see. Most of these are stickers, and we'll see what we've got here. These are in no particular order. I just received this one. This is from Australia. Actually not sure who it's from. Oh, okay, this is from Tom down in Tasmania. He's renamed his channel. It used to be Tommy Gun Machining, and he actually has 2 channels, Tom Make Here and Was Make Here. So thank you, Tom. We'll get them put up on the board. I will leave links to all of these channels in the description. Here's another one. Looks like it's also maybe from Australia. Not exactly sure. Okay, this is another one from Tasmania, and this is Craig's Workshop. Thank you, Craig. All right, now we're getting closer to home. This is postmarked in Tennessee. This is EC Workshop. This is one that I have just recently subscribed to. He's got some nice content, and his name is Ed Cued. There again, I will leave links to the channels. This next one is from Gary Brown. Old Iron Lovers Workshop, I believe, is the name of his channel. Let's just double check it here. Old Iron Machine Works. I was close. And he is in Rio Vista, California. Gary Brown. And he sent me a nice note. This one is from Titusville, Pennsylvania. I believe that this is DJ. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, Foxburg's Fabricoblin. And he also included a sticker for Engineers Workshop. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but it's DJ from Foxburg's Fabricoblin, and he's got some old iron in his machine shop and some interesting videos. Now this next one I've actually been sitting on for a while, and this is from the Eddies. He does motorcycles, machining, mechanics, and he also provided me with a lathe stop. I don't know what else to call this, but what this is, it's a tool for taking the locking the spindle on my Atlas lathe. He prints them up for several different lathe sizes, and typically what most people do when they're going to unscrew the chuck, they'll take and throw the lathe in back gears, and every time you do that you run the risk of breaking a tooth on the gear, because when it's in back gear, all of the stress is on one tooth, and these gears are not exactly steel. They're made out of a product, it's called Zamek, I believe it is, which is a zinc aluminum alloy, and it's not very strong. So he has printed these up. I believe they're available for sale. There again, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can check with him. I think that he was selling them on eBay, and I believe that he makes them for several different style lathes. So let's go over to the lathe and see how it works. Okay, let's give this a try. You do is actually you put this, and it meshes. It meshes with the gear on the spindle, and then you rotate it down, and it's got a stop, and it actually locks right against the. Let's take and zoom you in on this. It locks right down against the housing. There we go. And it's engaged in about 8 to 10 teeth, so it shouldn't move anywhere. And I'll just take my wrench. Perfect. Unscrews with no problem. Now, I have played around with this a little bit, and even though it's really not designed for installing, you can actually get pretty good purchase on it by holding it against the gear, and it stops against the back gear. Let me move you over so you can see that. So you have to hold it in place. It doesn't go by itself. And then I can actually get a pretty good bite on it to tighten that up, which beats the heck out of putting it in back gear and running the risk of breaking a tooth. So thank you, Eddie. That's a nice addition to the shop. I'll put it right in my lathe toolbox. Here's another one that I've been remiss about showing. Right soon after Christmas, probably, well, middle of January, maybe late January, I received a package from my friend Stan Zinkowski of Bar Z Industrial. His channel is Shaden HKW, and he sent me this mug, CNC fake machining, and it's got the Bar Z logo on the back, and he included 2 bottles of anchor lube. And I use this all the time for tapping primarily stainless steel. It works out pretty good on that. So thank you, Stan. And that's a good segue for the Bar Z Summer Bash that's coming up this year. It looks like it's going to be a full-blown summer bash again. The COVID has backed off enough that Stan doesn't anticipate any restrictions. I'm going to let him announce the dates. I don't want to be the spoiler on it. However, I'm going. Typically, it's the first weekend of the summer. Last year, it actually fell on my wife's birthday, and I decided it probably wasn't the best thing to go to the bash on my wife's birthday. So this year, it's going to be... I don't have a conflict with her birthday, and I've already got my plane tickets, and I got my room reserved and paid for, and I'm hoping to see some of you at the bash this year. Just got some material in for one of my future video projects. And I have got ER40 collets. I got them because I'm going to be using them on my new, to me, horizontal milling machine, which I'm hoping to move into the shop this spring. And I was looking at collet blocks, square and hex collet blocks for the ER40, and I really wasn't thrilled with what I found, so I decided to make my own. And I bought some material, and I got a lot more material than I need, but you can never have too much steel in the shop. Let's see if I can get this open. Get this cut apart and I'll bring you back. Maddie from Maddie's Workshop down in Australia just recently did a video on making one, and I don't know why I decided to buy 3 pieces of this material when I only needed 1, but it's 2 inches square by 4 inches. And it's 4140, very, very well packed. So, future video, watch for it. This is where I started with my sticker collection on my whiteboard, and I like to use the whiteboard, so I quickly ran out of room there. I moved over to this whiteboard and I filled that one, and then I moved down to the inside lid of this tool chest and I filled that. Now I'm over on this cabinet here, pretty well filled that side. There are some duplications here. Now I'm over on the other side and I just put the new stickers on here. I still got some spare space, and that one is held on by magnets. I can move that around if need be. But there are the new stickers. Speaking of channel stickers, if anybody's interested in obtaining one of my channel stickers, all you have to do is send me an email. It will be at the bottom of the screen right here. It'll also be in the description of this video. Send an email to me with your address and I'll be happy to send it out to you. If you follow my channel, chances are you follow Tom Lipton of Ox Tool, and Tom has recently moved and he had to move his substantial machine shop, and as a fundraiser to help to offset the cost of moving, he did a t-shirt campaign, and I just got one of his t-shirts in. Here it is here. Ox Tools, the Epic Egress. It's a nice pocket tee. So, here we go. Looks like that's going to be a nice one. Always had a little bit of interest in foundry work. I've only ever cast one piece, and that was in my freshman year in college. I was taking Metals 101 in my pursuit of becoming an industrial arts teacher at the time, and we cast this piece here, and all it was just a round blank that we cast in sand, and then we had to machine it, and we cut external threads, cut a radius, we turned the diameter, knurled it, had to turn another diameter. I forget what they were, but you had to have all your diameters within certain parameters. And so that is my casting project. Well, once I got my Hotshot 360 oven, I decided that I might try some casting on a small scale, and I purchased this small crucible. It's a graphite crucible. I think it's listed as a 2 kilogram. It fits nicely into the Hotshot oven. I took and cured it in the oven. Over a period of time, I brought it up to operating temperature, and it's supposed to cure them before you actually use them, and I've done that. But before that, I took a file and actually cut a small groove in it for a pouring, to make a pouring ladle. I also purchased this set of tongs to handle it. And I just recently received, I bought, actually I got it on Amazon, I've got 20 pounds of green sand. I know there's lots of people, there's lots of videos show you how to make it on the cheap and so on, and to be quite honest with you, for what it cost, and the shipping was no charge because we're Amazon Prime members, it didn't pay to go through the aggravation of trying to make it myself. So I got 20 pounds of sand, and my next project, and probably my next video, is going to be to make the flasks for casting. There are going to be some small castings, and it may end up being something, if they turn out well enough, I may put a kit together that would be available for purchase. I want to build one of the Kenneth Wells traction engines. It's a piece that Emma from Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop did a while ago. She had a series of videos on it. And I want to do something for fun for a change. I've been doing an awful lot of work, some commercial stuff, making tools, and I'm looking forward to just doing a fun project. So the beginning of that is to cast it up. I got files to have the patterns 3D printed. I'm in the process of working with a maker space at the museum where I volunteer. They're going to print them out for me. So stay tuned for future videos on that project. Now that's going to wrap up this edition of Shark Bits. I want to thank all my subscribers, everybody that gives me a thumbs up and comments on my videos. I promise that I won't take 2 months for the next video to come out. Matter of fact, I expect to put something together within the next 2 weeks. Next week actually is the last of the train shows that I have to do. I work model train shows, and February and March are our big months, and this coming weekend is the last show of the season. As much as I enjoy doing it, I also enjoy when it's over, because I think I did 8 shows in a period of 12 weeks, and I'm tired. I've had it. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.